I need a new hat. I'm so sick of seeing this camouflaged army hat. I mean, I don't even know who the Astros are. I got this when I was in Houston, Texas, when I was at WrestleMania.
The 1997 Survivor Series took place November 9th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Did something happen at this show? Um, Something to do with a wrestler not really losing a fake fight, then him going away for years and being bitter for years. Yes. Oh yeah, Bret the Hitman Hart. This was his final show in the WWF for until 2010 when he returned to Raw. After a time when you thought he would perhaps never return to anything to do with WWE, WWF at the time. WWF still sounds much better than WWE. Shawn Michaels took on Bret the Hitman Hart in the main event here for the WWF Championship at Survivor Series. This was in fact their second Survivor Series main event for the WWF Championship 5 years earlier. In a less famous, less infamous Survivor Series main event, they had took on each other before, with Bret Hart winning with a sharpshooter, and 5 years on, Shawn Michaels, quote unquote, wins with a sharpshooter here. His life came full circle. Vince McMahon, he went from kind of behind the scenes commentator guy to this evil Mr. McMahon boss when he screwed Bret Hart. So, long story short, wrestling's all scripted, fake fights, as we know. Although the blood is real, we'll get to the blood thing another time. It's weird, it's strange, the whole blood thing. So so it's all scripted, all fake, fake fights. Um, but Bret Hart didn't know he was going to lose at this event, and the match between him and Shawn Michaels behind the scenes was constructed where Bret Hart, they would get the belt off Bret Hart. They would make it look like Bret Hart submitted to the sharpshooter. What a silly business! I can't believe I'm over nearly 33. I'm talking about this show from 23 years ago because there's generally nothing else better to do with my life these days. We're still in a local lockdown here. And I've been going through the WWF events, event by event, and it's time to talk about this show. It all seems so silly, but I remember it was quite a big deal. Well, it was a big deal. I was 9 at the time, nearly 10. I was at this 18 party, family friends party. Big wrestling fan, was 18. I still see him walking about today, and first thing he mentions is wrestling. I love it. And I remember him telling me about Bret Hart, all this what went down at the Survivor Series. It spoiled the show for me, but never mind, never mind. I remember him telling me about Bret Hart. Is on his way to WCW. I was like, I couldn't believe it at the time. I was like, because Bret Hart was such a staple in the WWF, and I was like, no way. And this show, it has a great atmosphere all the way through. The Survivor Series traditional matches are good. Steve Austin Owen Hart match gets the job done. This was Stone Cold Steve Austin's first match back since SummerSlam when he got his neck broken. But the one thing people remember from this show is arguably one of the most famous now matches in wrestling ever: Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, where they screwed Bret Hart, and Bret Hart won there. Now, a lot of people, years later, a lot of people think this is a work. I'm open-minded to think maybe Bret Hart was in on it all along, but Bret Hart he must be a damn good actor, because I believe Bret Hart that this did take place behind his back. This wasn't supposed to happen. this match wasn't supposed to end this way so abruptly, and there was a different finish. But you've got guys like the Warrior and Kevin Nash have spoke out about it later on. The cameras were in the places at the right time. So if you're watching this, let me know what you think. Do you think this was a work? Do you think it was just another fake storyline? I'm not sure. I'm going to go on record and say it wasn't. Not to begin with, anyway. But perhaps the bitterness, once they learned what they created with the Mr. McMahon character, perhaps the stuff that became a work was the fraction between Bret Hart and Vince McMahon, the separation for years perhaps became a work, to keep that illusion going that this was totally insane moment at Survivor Series was so bad, But looking back, it's a very rather silly situation. Wrestling's dead. I do love wrestling. I don't like today's WWE product. Haven't been a big fan of today's WWE product for a number of years now. But I do still have a love for wrestling. I do still defend it when I can. But it's what a daft business it all is. What a daft business. But yeah. Survivor Series 1997, worth checking out still. It's an entertaining show. And it's got a great vibe throughout, and one of the most infamous matches takes place at this show with two great workers. We're in this, I guess, was the end of the Next Generation with Bret Hart's departure, and the two best workers during that time were in the main event of one of the big four shows. So what more could you want? So that's my wee thoughts on the most infamous WWF pay-per-view produced ever, and Bret Hart's most bitter day.